Chapter 10. We are on the wrong place, like some old man's voice sound young man. No, we are on the right place because if you touch the fire, what could happen? The other one said. Dominic tried to recognize to whom they belong. Would be painful, wouldn't it? The other one continued. No one loves each other when you don't know how to love. Dominic heard already something like that. What are you doing here? Harry frightened her from the back. Psst. She put a finger over her lips to show him to stop speak. If you try to beg long and strong for something that you need like an inspiration, you'll get an answer by the heaven. The solution is inside of us and not around us. Dominic and her friend listened very carefully. Yes, but sometimes after so much given, you had an experience to meet someone who thinks that destroying is the best by coincidence or whatever. Harry wanted to say something, but Dominic stopped him before he had time. Every person is as the whole universe. If we, every one of each, would try to search deep inside of ourselves and our own world, we could find out how much work is there inside of it. People do not like to believe people. I don't say anyone. They don't like think. You have to force them to understand sorrow and sadness because only those feelings could make you be sick, no matter are those illnesses psychological problem or it is physical. Life went out of the control that we are near of situation where point of fear is far away behind us in the serve of devil. Harry turned, and loud sound broke their conversation. It was the huge box full of some different things, from boxes, notebooks, pictures, dry flowers, some decorated paper, everything. Dominic felt how her blood pressure was falling down. Why are you afraid? We were just passing here when that happened, succeed to say before door were open. When person doesn't know why is it here, one question always comes on the top: what now? Dominic felt unpleasant, and she could see on her friend's face that he felt the same. We were just passing here, quickly as a small, naive boy, a tall man. He was more man than a student. There are on the world many reasons because we are here to do wise or stupid things, said Dominic. She was insulted. People very often wish to analyze the other life on their own way, which always became rude or with tendon against real right meaning into direction of evil and madness. We are the past part of something that had to be in life, and want it or not, we must to live as it is. Everything else would be too much. Or simply everything is a part of the game by sadistic face, which we use as a part of weapon to make destruction of the other person. Repression. We can't change movement, but we could try to prolong it. Dominic stopped to take a breath. This became the dangerous. It was hard to find out what was seriously or it was a joke. Sometimes asked myself, is it useful to fight or talk about anything? Men really irritated Dominic. She didn't want to confess it. That really was listening most of the conversation. My dear, we are made by material, but sometimes that material is nothing. Spirit around us and more. You can touch it. He moved his fingers with a manner of magic world work. Didn't know why, but Dominic started to laugh. He looked so funny to her. You know what you should have? Your hair black, dark. What was that this man want from her? You look better. He closed the door. You ruined his private, said Harry. Yes, it is obviously that I made a problem. Dominic felt like never before. I'm sorry, but I started to be paranoid after everything. It is not nice to listen the other conversation. That is something what they taught me a long time ago. She felt as a small punish girl. Sometimes we have to do what is foolish, even to be impolite or mad. Sometimes everything is allowed, said Harry. He felt sorry for her. I have one huge problem, started Dominic. All my life I've been by my own. Family was afraid of something. I don't know what. Except my grandparents and parents, no one wanted to communicate. They visited us, but nothing seriously. Maybe it was like in the other family, but I don't think that any problem person could make by self. That happened when my close relatives had problems and the others simply ran away. Now you are the first who is with me, and I'm not used to do it. Thank you. She was grateful that Harry didn't disappear just like that when man showed up. What it is that makes us different than the others? Nothing. We're the same, but sometimes we like to be different than the other one. That is the simple explanation when we look everything by first level. But in the other case, we are different. We live something on our own way. He wanted to say something more, but you want to say material is the same, but the percent could be different. Dominic didn't see a shadow. I want to say that everything in the world people used to respect the woman. The woman is on the major place in the society as respectful person. In the every civilized area is like that, but unfortunately, here and where I came from, equals is something as put a woman to the every hard work. It's measured with physical energy. Push a woman to the end and to does every bad job as man does. That is the meaning of respect woman. Not as give her a support or listen to unfortunately. It is to make fun and joke on her way. I heard it is the same at your home. Do you protect your ladies, or they are for you wise, or you use them only as an object? She said, look at me, how my attitude to you looks like. He raised his hand. Well, if they are pretty as you are, he started to watch her from head over hands lips, heels. I don't know. Dominic was very serious and in the first moment felt something what could be on anger, but in the next one she realized that he is joking. It was sympathy that on the end she got a smile on her face. I'm very serious. If you want to understand me, he took her under her hand. Of course, but don't you think that we need to exchange nice words could be the best, at least for Saul? His face was very close to her that she could felt her breath. She wasn't ready for that, so quickly moved. It is easy to make friends, but sometimes could be hard and it is always to stay long with them. I want to have some time for my own place. Please. She really felt different than usually. There was something what was difficult to explain, but she didn't want to have any close relation with him, even not with anyone, especially not with someone from school. Sorry, I was too close. He excused himself. It is okay. She slowly relieved after his movement back. Sometimes we do something what is reaction of bitterness inside of us, or we can't understand what was the real meaning of someone telling what open what writer wanted to say. We mustn't blame anyone about anything before we check what is behind. She opened the door of the restaurant. There was no one there, no living soul. I wanted to study medicine, but unfortunately my love for destiny, or whatever you called it, wasn't on my side. I've got ill, and tell you the truth, at those age as a girl, I couldn't expected or found beauty in it. Except humanity, my sensibility simply couldn't get used to the atmosphere. After it, I wanted to did something correct, study school for beauty. I need to it so much, but people who could help me about it didn't think that way. I tried too hard to show them how I know what is nice. I choose lovely colors, clothes which could hide or made by minus nicer. I did learn what kind of makeup is best for me, even practice, but the others didn't want to see. So had to accept what the others want. So do not take it wrong because of my attitude. It is very hard for me. I feel sick. She started to cry. Whatever. From the beginning, I learned something what I've already knew again and again as I wanted to find something in between the lines. My mind always think in more than four levels. It was and it is hard. Hard. She sat through the tears. I was exposed to terror, to someone I should be made better as like that than normal. I still didn't get an answer. Killers are free. Dominic couldn't believe that she said something like that. Her personality was always under control, but after everything, people allow themselves too much, don't you think? From words over possible reactions try to explain something. Do you think that these days is normal to live under strong control as look? She didn't understand him. I thought that religion is the only road of freedom. This is the matter of ethic, morality, respect. Do you believe in everything? She pulled a finger into the direction of light which came out of the window. I don't know. I think that I believe in something what I think is right. Was it a philosophy or everything that mean how we should find out what could be our wish? The answer didn't help. It is the hard subject. For someone, right is wrong, and for the other, one wrong is right. We'll have to find the best explanation, what could be the best for ourselves own. The people who don't think are the happiness in the life. He started to laugh. I like your dress, but that doesn't mean how the others will accept. He needed to say something. Under whose evil story or game we are? Dominic was very sad. What was normal? Look this way. It is useful to fight for someone who only want to destroy you. It sounded very rude, but she didn't answer. There is no reason to be worried. Dominic didn't know what to think. Different memories were passing through her head. I really don't know how I will survive all this. Sometimes should be more and over everything. Could be happy and said very weak. Chapter 11. Are you feeling okay? It was Dominic's grandfather's voice. He sounded upset. Sorry because you waited too long. I was in my room. He probably was on the line more than 5 minutes. It is not important. How are you? I found some text here about murder on the place where you are. I hope that is only a joke. These days they do that because of good business. Nevertheless, when something important happens, they jump over her grandfather didn't have a heart heard the truth. Before he had time to finish his thoughts, Dominic said, I must give up now. She was afraid that he could insisted on suggestion about her return home. It was her grandfather. She knew him well, so it is not naive. Why she always had to make mistake about something what was against the wish to kept secret about anything, especially in front of her grandfather. Some light touch paid her attention. It was Harry. Are you going to stay long? Like God sent him. Are you in hurry? Am I keeping you? On the other side of line there been another question. No, but I have to go now. There's some general meeting that we have with Professor. I'll try to call you later. It was perfect excuse, which could give her time to think what she would say about everything. Otherwise, grandfather could better don't think what he could be able to do to save her own granddaughter. Do not go out, it is too cold. She couldn't wait to hang down the line. Who was it? Harry stood very close to her. My grandfather, she said. It on the way as he sorrow breathe around. I don't know what to tell him. Everything here is fantasy. My mind can't accept it. It was very hard for her to, on the first place, for the express feeling that, then to describe what was circling around, from which point I should start. Love, hate, hope, success, work, fate, secret, revolt, spite, order, domination, dictatorship, leadership, submission, obedience, justice and injustice, and finally revenge. Step back and forgiveness, or revenge stood fly through the air. Will be or not. Love me, do not love me, and etc. It wasn't possible for Dominic to stop her speech. To be useful or good or bad. During her talk, she didn't notice that new friend of her had something in his hand. Look what I've got, something what mind your attention. Dominic looked at him, then the thing what he held in his hand. This is a power thing. It looks as a box, but it wasn't. It reminded on music box, but it wasn't. Open it. It was the order because her friend started to be nervous. This is a black box. Dominic was confused. She didn't know a meaning. In her eyes was a question. Yes, said Harry. Read what is on it. He continued. She turned a box on the front. MP said, yes, this is something which is date from the Second War. Harry was delighted about his discovery. It is the interesting thing, but what kind of connection it has with our situation? She sounded naive. I think that the problem came from that period. Now Harry was clear about his thoughts. We learn history in school through theater's performance, but in real life is something else. In young man, voice was fit completely different. His anger, he agreed with her. Maybe it's better to see what they are going to tell us first. Then I am going to help you about this thing. She showed him on the box. What is it? What do they want from us? Asked Dominic during their walk to the place where meeting nearly had to start it. Hysteric, panic, what? Harry looked at her. How many count- countries did you visit? And how many films did you see that remind you on your own life? Or how many news I've heard? She couldn't stop to speak. Everything is out of the question, that is true. He tried to find something to say what could make her to feel better. I don't know what to think. I really don't know. It was early for clear thoughts. Did you ever think about do we have evil and how strong it is inside of us? It was the logical answer. It is not that. I don't want them. It is that they don't want me. Dominic said something what on the first sight didn't have connection with conversation before, but sooner or later it started to have meaning. Lady and young gentleman started men who everyone met on the morning when they found the body. You've probably heard what tradition is. You should study it. It was question and answer. Now I'm going to tell you something more about tradition, real one. Inspector took a deep breath. You've probably heard that English postman, no matter what kind of weather is, he drives his bicycle, rain, wind, and anything, and wouldn't give up. Dominic didn't understand him. Do you want to tell us how we are dealing here with British service? One of the students made joke and everyone started to laugh. I wouldn't have fun with something as this as situation are. I please you to try to be a little bit mature. Inspector was so serious. If we may conclude it, started the same student. You have here a frozen person. Are you suggesting that something like this could transform into the political problem or already has note of it? The man looked at him with round eyes. I am not suggesting anything if it is your opinion irony. You should be diplomatic, more tolerate, suit with you better than policemen. The young man wasn't obviously delighted with Inspector. What is the matter with him? Dominic whispered on the Harry's ear. I have an expression that you don't want me to think and speak, young man. Do you know something and sometimes about this? The beautiful woman next to him raised her hand to ask for a word, but Oleg was faster. May I say something? Our friend didn't have a nice expression with law. Inspector looked at him. May I continue now? He started to lose his temper. I do understand your creative mind, but developing the dangerous situation could be more of tragic. Try to use your wise mind in the direction and the lie also take care of it. He was a little bit arrogant. Okay, the young man from the front raised his hand. We are waiting. He took a seat, and now Dominic said any more, couldn't saw any more, he said. The jealousy, now presentation started. Shall I go on with my speech, or someone could hear us? It wasn't question, but also a moment of silence too. When I say something, or when you see the picture, or the someone, or when you see the picture, or the someone else reaction, how do you react? No one didn't move. Okay, I believe that you wanted me to control your feelings because of your good. With the dark hair and strange, nearly funny face, stopped for a second. If someone are listening us or if they watch us, then for sure it is not good and it is a matter of mental problem. By the voice came from the back room. What kind of point is for something like that? Inspector raised his look. You are under of, as you've already said, mentally ill person, and you should worry about your life. With weak word, I am telling you that. He took a deep breath. It is not normal at all. You have to be wise. Everything what might happen to the others could happen to you too. If it is possible, you have to inform everyone if you noted anything wrong, but measure. Do you want to kill if someone constantly attacks you? Do you? Could you? He started to speak so loud that Dominic felt her floor circling under her legs. The joke, irony, what it is. You don't know, of course, that you don't know. Part by part, try to analyze if you could. When someone wants to hurt or make your life bitter, then that person would do anything. But if you discouraged him or her, maybe the picture would change. What happened behind the other's door? That is what everyone wants to know. But it is not important that everyone word has to be published yet. could be and it could be not. Depends of the creative mind of one person. Oleg slowly took to Dominic, who sat behind him. My grandfather know how to tell and make stories. Dominic started to laugh because her grandfather knew that too.